Hello there. As you have probably seen by the title, I'm done. I am so done with Jujutsu Kaisen. For those of you that have been watching these past seasons, I guess, honestly, I was going to say episodes, but it's more just season. Yeah, we've not been having a good time. I'm not enjoying it. You're not enjoying watching it, so I think it's time to pull the plug. We're going to pull the plug. I was going to try to make it through the end of the season, but my pride be damned, I can't do it. So yeah, I am giving up on Jujutsu Kaisen. I just can't watch it anymore. And I do want to quickly just say the reasons, just as a quick, concise, number one, just the villains. The villains are absolutely awful. There are a couple exceptions. Hanami, I thought, was a really interesting villain. Toji Fushiguro, I have learned to like over time. Initially, I didn't really care for him, but quite honestly, he's really simple when you stop and think about it, so he's okay. And that's kind of it. The rest of the villains are all really bad. Geto was kind of annoying, and then they did the reveal that he's fake Geto, and that, oh my god, that was so bad. And I'm sure that was gonna go somewhere and stuff, but it just seems like after watching the movie was really good, by the way. Like, that's something I would genuinely rewatch, but after watching the movie and watching the Hidden Inventory arc, where we really get to see Geto and we see how he becomes what he became, basically. We really get to see how he becomes the villain. And to suddenly just take all of that away and be like, yeah, no, actually it's this other villain now. It's kind of mind-blowing how awful that is. Because even if they have the whole thing of like, well, Geto's body is fighting back against him and stuff, it's like, I don't care. You set up Geto as the villain, and now you're giving me something else that I didn't want, It would be like if in the MCU they set up Thanos all that time, and then at the end of Infinity War, he just took off the top of his head, and it's like, yeah, actually, Thanos died before the first Iron Man movie, and yeah, you haven't been dealing with Thanos this whole time, and it's like, oh, great. Why invest all that time in nothing, Ugh, I'm sweaty. I just came in from the outside, the heat and the sunlight. I had to take my dog outside. It's early in the morning. It's actually the next day. I know I'm wearing the same shirt, but it's the next day after recording, so I'm sweaty. Anyway. So Geto, that's one thing. Mahito is also pretty terrible. He's just so annoying. And there's another villain who's ridiculously annoying and awful, and we'll get to that in a bit. But, so that's one thing. The next thing that I hate about this show is that it seems to not like its characters. Like, you have Itadori because you have to have Itadori, but let's all face the facts that it's the Gojo show. And Gojo is okay. I think Gojo worked better in smaller doses. Like, the fact that Season 2 has primarily been Gojo-focused is a problem. And I know he just got sealed up a couple episodes ago, but he's been a major focus of this show in Season 2. And I think that's a problem. I think you need to keep him more sparse, That way we appreciate it more. But anyway, Gojo's a minor thing. Not even really a problem. But the fact that it's like, hey, here's all of these interesting characters, like Fushiguro, Kugisaki, Maki, Panda, Toge, Miwa, Nakamaru even now. And it's like, and let's not focus on them. It's like, and if you do, hey, here's 2 episodes about Mekamaru. Cool! I can't wait to see more of... And he's dead. Okay. He's dead. And you knew he was gonna die. Like, I couldn't even get invested in his fight with Mahito because he's fighting Mahito. Of course he's going to die. It just kind of ruins all suspense about it, you know? So, but the main thing, the fact that we barely had any of Fushiguro and Kugisaki along with Itadori is pretty bad. And I'm just, so sweaty. And I'll say a bit more about that, actually, just a bit later. But, I'm just sweaty right now. It's ridiculous. Anyway. So there's that. The pacing of this show was also kind of garbage. And this is an older complaint, but like that Junpei arc is still like that was like the first red flag of like, oh, this show doesn't know what it's doing. It does not know what it's doing. 'Cause like literally the entire plot ground to a halt and showed us a full episode about Junpei. I don't care. Like, this is not... And showing how Mahito, our new annoying villain, he just loves that Junpei. It's so great. He just loves him, and it's just like, who cares? And then he's such a Gary Stu. I mean, he's a Gary Stu in that it's like, oh, the main villain and the main character love him. It's like, I mean, to be fair, Itadori would love anyone, you know, as long as they're not a villain, pretty much. So that doesn't fully count. Itadori's basically like Sonic the Hedgehog. So yeah, but with... Oh, boy. I know, I'm not getting, like, concise thoughts about this, but anyway. But that whole Junpei arc, just... Everything grinds to a halt for a story that ultimately doesn't matter. And I know what people say. That, oh, well, this has an effect on Itadori's character. Does it? Does it really? Because Itadori was pretty much the same afterwards, and he's the same now, except that he hates Mahito. I feel like there was a better way of doing that. And honestly, and again, we'll talk about this more, but maybe you should have killed Kugisaki. You clearly hate Kugisaki. You might as well have just killed her, and then there you go. Then I at least would have been invested, but yeah. So, anyway. I said these were going to be my concise thoughts, and now we're sitting here at like 7.5 minutes, and nothing's been concise at all. Oh well. The bottom line is, I am done with Jujutsu Kaisen, and the thing is, you're probably watching this and you're thinking, well, last episode you seemed to liked, and I did. I really enjoyed last episode. Because it did what Jujutsu Kaisen needs to do. Have our interesting main characters fighting something. That's all. Honestly, this show is just a worse Chainsaw Man. Like, Chainsaw Man, and I watched that first, but it's like, that is a better version of Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, you're fighting villains. They're not annoying. They're not spectacular. I mean, Katana Man is not an amazing villain, but he's not annoying. Excuse me. Oh, God. Excuse me. And the main trio of Chainsaw Man is so great. You have Denji, Power, and Aki. They are Itadori, Kugisaki, and Fushiguro. Just, you know, a bit more exaggerated because it's Chainsaw Man. But that's... I've finally figured out, it's like, oh, Chainsaw Man is what I thought Jujutsu Kaisen was going to be. But it's just a worse version. So much worse version. So I give up. I'm done. But we're not quite done yet. There's still one more episode. Because I am recording this after I recorded my reaction to episode 12. So what I'm going to do is I am going to edit episode 12. And you're going to see that. Like always, the reaction is down in the description and in the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure. And when you're done with that, I do highly encourage you to come back to this YouTube video to watch my original discussion on Season 2, Episode 12, Dull Knife. Because this, to me, and this is going to sound weird, but this was my breaking point. This episode was my breaking point just because it pissed me off so much that I was like, I can't do this. I know there are epic fights coming up. Epic Mappa animation fights, but I literally just can't do it, you know? I cannot keep driving myself insane. And I say as much in the discussion where it's like, look, I watched, that day that I recorded, I watched Demon Slayer Season 4, Vinland Saga Season 2, and Kaguya-sama Season 3. And when I was watching those, I was blissfully happy. It was so amazing. I was so happy. I was getting so much into it. And then I watched Jujutsu Kaisen, and I am miserable. So I can't do it anymore. Maybe in a few years I will, like in 5 years, I'll read the manga, because I know the manga is supposed to be wrapping up this year. So maybe in a few years, once I've given it some distance, I will come back and I will read the manga. But I probably won't watch the anime because I can't sit through that, you know? At least with the manga, I can go at my own pace and I can get through all the garbage villains. Garbage villains. So that's that. Next week, we're starting a new anime. I'm thinking free run. If you guys have suggestions for anime I can watch, you can go ahead and leave it in the comments, because we do have Kaguya-sama ending soon. So I will need a replacement for that. And hopefully we will be able to get through free run. I hope I never have to quit a show again, because I've done this twice now. Because I quit My Hero Academia, to be fair, between seasons. I finished up season 6, and I was like, you know what? This isn't the show I watched. You know, this isn't the show I want anymore. I'm done. And now I'm stopping in the middle of Jujutsu Kaisen, and I'm saying, you know, this isn't the show I wanted. You know, it's not for me. And if you like Jujutsu Kaisen, and you don't have any of these problems, that's amazing. I am so happy for you. In fact, I'm jealous. I'm jealous because, again, there are some of these characters I genuinely really like. But it's very clear to me that the show does not like these characters. So that's that. Again, there's the reaction to 212 and the discussion that's going to be here in this YouTube video. I'll see you guys next week for free run. That's pretty much it. See you guys later.
Goodbye, everyone. I'll remember you all in therapy.
I can't fully impart to you my hatred of that character. I don't even know his name. Sword Hand guy. I can't begin to describe the seething hatred I have for that character. Because I want, and you're never going to hear this again, I want to give Mahito credit that at least he is a threat. I hate it. He's a Gary Stu, and he's really annoying. But in that Gary Stu-ness, it does mean he is powerful and he is a threat. This guy is not a threat, and that's what I hate. And he's so smug, you know? And I'm just so glad that Nanami just destroyed him. And he's dead. Like, we all know this, right? That guy's dead. You know what? I don't even care about spoilers. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look up and make sure he's dead. See, I don't even know what he is. Sword Hand guy. Oh, hey, it worked. Good. Good, he is dead. I mean, maybe he's alive and he comes back later, but... Okay, maybe he does. Oh, fuck it. Well, screw it. Better to be disappointed. I know, I literally just looked up a spoiler, but I don't care anymore. I won't look up the major spoilers, I just wanted to see. So, whatever, I don't care. Okay. The amount of disrespect this show has for Kugisaki is so insulting. Like, oh my god. Like, I know in My Hero Academia, Uraraka has done nothing since the sports festival. And Uraraka's character just became, does she have a crush on Deku or not? That's pretty much all it became. She didn't really do anything that wasn't like about Deku in some way. But my god, is she still treated better than Kugisaki. And here's the thing. Because, like, they disrespect Kugisaki so much, and then they give us a character like Mei Mei. And Mei Mei's not even that bad. I just don't care. I don't care. She shows up. She's not as good as Gojo, apparently. Because Gojo could figure out that wasn't really Geto. Mei Mei can't see that. Now, there may be something blocking her view. Something that makes her look stupid. Or we'll have some of these other characters, like Junpei or someone else, We'll have these characters that show up that are not as interesting as Kugisaki is. And now, not only was she defeated by, like, the lowest of the low villains, like, this dude is, like, below grunt work. This dude is so bad. But he beat her. And, on top of that, even though I swear she was recommended, to grade 1 sorcerer, Nanami says, "You're not a grade 1 sorcerer, therefore you can't come with me. You'll get in the way." And just the disrespect on a really interesting character, Quite frankly, she's more interesting than Itadori. Like, I like Kugisaki. Why are you treating her like this? And seriously, like, it's like, oh, the minimum requirement to go on is being a grade 1 sorcerer, so you have to stay here. It's like, hold on, bitch. And Nanami, I love you. But hold on, bitch. At the end of season 1, was she not recommended to be a grade 1 sorcerer? Did I forget that? Is this a Mandela effect? Did I just lump her in with the others? Because Itadori, Maki, Fushiguro, Panda, all of them were recommended. Correct me if I'm wrong. And now here's the thing too, because like Kugisaki barely did anything in the Kyoto event. Did like all of one thing in season 1, which was, when she did the friggin' thing in the last episode of season 1. And finally, she gets to do something here in season 2. And she's taken out by the equivalent of a minion. Just a smiling, yellow, annoying creature. It's just like, the amount of disrespect for Kugisaki is atrocious. Like, okay, if you're not going to give her respect and give her interesting storylines and have her defeat a villain, why did you write her? Why did you include her when you clearly hate her? Why did you do this? And if you hate her, and you hate how she's written, write better! It's a simple task. If you look at her, writer, and you think, boy, I don't like the way she's written, it's just not working for me. There's a very easy way to fix this. Write better. I'm telling you, this story, like, I need like a special edition, like I need a remake 10 years later, because half of the things in this show needed another draft or someone else to fix this. Like half of this story is really good, and the other half is bafflingly awful. And it drives me insane, because last episode was great, Last episode was great. It was a good fight. It was interesting. We had 2 of our interesting main characters leading the episode. That's great. And here, we have one of our other interesting main characters. Should have been. I thought she used to be a main character. No, Kugisaki, who's been here, like, since, episode 3, and, makes up part of the big trio of our main characters. she could not be more of a side character, actually. Sorry. Like, I'm sorry to like Uraraka, definitely. That's the big one, you know? Like, my god, man. Like, at least in Attack on Titan, like, when you had your defined trio, and sure, maybe Mikasa wasn't getting a lot of plot points outside of Eren, at least she was still a badass, you know? At least you knew, like, she was only, in terms of fighting, she was only second to Levi, you know? That's it. No one else, aside from Levi, was better than her, you know? Like, each of them had their strengths, and each of them played to that. Armin had his brain, Mikasa had her brawn, Eren had his plot device because he was the main character, and it worked, you know? And that should be. That's kind of what's happening here. Itadori has the plot device, Fushiguro is really smart, Kugisaki is very strong, but she's kind of on the wayside. I mean, for God's sake, Fushiguro is a side character in this show, you know? Itadori's practically one, too. It's more of the Gojo show. They had to lock Gojo away just to give other characters more screen time. And then they undercut it anyway. And I did it again. We got about 11 episodes left. I know, and you guys, you're such great people for sticking it out with me. You guys have said, you know, I don't need to force myself to watch something I don't like. But, and I know I give my dumb excuse of like, well, I want to finish the season, therefore, when I say I don't like it, I can at least say I watched all the good stuff, but just... And let me make it clear that, like, I've said some things about this episode, like, you know, Geto, Mahito's not even in this episode, and Mei's not even that bad. Mei's not even that bad, I just don't care, you know? And what even was the thing at the end? I can't even remember now. It was the blood control guy, like Itadori versus the blood control guy. And he's like, "Oh, I will avenge my brothers." Like, I don't care. I don't care about you. You are not interesting in the slightest. But it's like, look, like the big thing with this episode, because again, it's like Nanami killing that guy is great. That's great. But it's only somewhat cathartic. Because I had to sit there and watch this annoying, low power, awful character beat Kugisaki. An interesting character, you know? It would be like if in My Hero Academia some low-level, no-name villain beat Uraraka, and then, you know, Bakugo comes in and kills him. That's great that Bakugo killed him, but how on earth did he beat her? And the fact that, like, Kugisaki apparently doesn't progress at all. And I mean, I get it. She's not on screen that often, you know. She pops up like every 20 episodes to remind you she exists, but it's like, she hasn't gotten any better, you know? She hasn't gotten any better. And every time she has a fight, like, with the exception, again, of the season finale, like, that's, like, the only good fight she's had this entire show. But she doesn't get any better. She has a unique and interesting power set that isn't just punch or hit. You know, she's got a hammer, which is something, and she has the nails, which is also interesting. Why? Why? Why are you like this? Why are you like this? See, the thing is, I've thought about just doing, like, just compilations, just, like, watching 4 in a row in one video. But, A, that sounds like a nightmare. B, all that reaction footage would still be on the other clip, on the other link, which would be troublesome. I hate it's the fact that it's the middle of the season, and I feel like we haven't gotten to the big thing. This is what everyone talks about. It's like, I want to give this show its fair chance, but I'm 36 episodes in and I'm dying. Can I really? It's like my pride is at stake, It's like I'm so prideful that I want to finish this season, but at the same time, it's like, you're not having fun. I'm not having fun. Do I give up? I mean, because there's also the thing of like, oh, I can't give up now. I got to finish the season. It's like, yeah, but I'm on track to give up after the season. Like, I'm on track to quit this show after this season. So it just becomes the question, do I give up now or do I give up in 11 episodes? I can't make this decision now. Unfortunately. But, okay, so stick around, I guess. Stick around. Stay tuned to see what happens with me watching Jujutsu Kaisen. Or not. None of you are obligated to be here. It's just a shame. Because I watched a new episode of Demon Slayer today, the beginning of the Hashira training arc, and I was so happy. I was so blissfully happy watching that. And then I watched Vinland Saga. Vinland Saga is a masterpiece. And I came into this episode, I was a little nervous because, you never know what can happen. But I was like, you know what? The last episode was really good. I'm excited. And it all just came crashing down again because this show just hates Kugisaki. Well, you know what, show? I hate you. So, next week, maybe the next episode, maybe something else. I don't know, man. Is it even worth it? Because it's 11 more friggin' episodes. Maybe I will just do the 4 in a row, I'll make a decision later. With that said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I'll see you guys on something else. Okay, guys, thanks again for watching this. There's links on screen. You can go click around any of those if you want. I'm so sorry that I'm making these crap quality videos.